Good morning. My name is Polly Romine. I will be presenting the new VOCA. The VOCA is Victims of Crime Act grant-funded progress report format. This will take place of doing status reports in the Utah Grant Management System, as well as the report that's done in the federal PMT OJP website. This progress report document takes place of both of those requirements. This is an Excel document and will have to be completed in Excel. There are many complicated formulas and formatting, and when other formats are used to open the report, such as Apple or Google products, the formatting and formulas are unlocked or changed, and so the document does not work correctly. This document will be shared with you by your grant analyst, and it will be added to the files of your VOCA grant. It will be labeled as Progress Report. Parts of this report will be completed every quarter, while other sections are only required twice a year. The same document is used throughout the entire year. So starting on the cover sheet tab, which that is what we are looking at currently, the due date information for the PMT data and the narrative data, which I will talk about narrative data in just a moment, that is new. The due dates are right here. And so if you forget the due dates, this is a good place to look. The cover sheet will be filled out by your grant analyst, and so you do not need to do anything on this tab. All right, PMT data. This information is filled out every quarter and submitted back to your grant analyst. This tab takes place of you having to fill out the federal PMT OJP website. You'll enter the same demographic and services data into this spreadsheet. Once the data looks complete, your grant analyst will enter the data into the federal system. You will still have access to the federal system, but you will not be able to edit any information there regarding the PMT reports. There is a spot that is new at the top where you will need to tell us the prorated number of services and victims and how your agency came up with that prorated number for each quarter. Only VOCA allowable and grant funded services should be reported in this PMT data. If you need help with proration, there are resources in the instructions tab. Remember that your internal data and documentation should support the numbers and information that you put into this report. This data for the PMT reports is exactly the same data that it's been for the federal PMT reports. So it's the same data that you've been collecting and reporting quarter after quarter, year after year. None of that has changed. It's just we're having you put it into this Excel spreadsheet instead. If you need more information about how to complete PMT, there is a link to the federal government instructions and definitions in the instructions tab. We'll look at the instructions tab a little bit in a minute. I want to mention that this PMT tab will help us know if our data matches. For demographics, the sheet will show you red or green boxes for age, race, and gender in relation to the new victims entered. So if you've entered new victims up here and your data does not match down here, the box will turn red. When data matches, the boxes will turn green, again for age, race, and gender. There will also be boxes if there are not enough victimizations or services for the number of victims entered. So if you have red boxes appearing in victimizations or in services, that means some of the data is missing. You're missing a service or you're missing a victimization. You can use the instructions to help you know how to fix any red boxes that appear, but essentially it means just going back in and entering data to make it match. The boxes will not turn green because you can have more victimizations and services than victims. So there wasn't a way to let you know that it's good. So apart from if there is no red box, then the data is there are at least enough victimizations and or services. If a box asks for narrative, such as this other explanation required box, there is a little space for some data. When you click on that box, the narrative will expand. You can see the narrative in there. You can also see the narrative up here at the top. You can type up here, you can type down here. So if you feel like your boxes aren't big enough, the data is there. And when we go in to review the progress report, your grant analyst can expand those boxes for you. All right, so on to the new section of what will take place of the status reports are these narrative tabs. One tab is for data that is from July to December that will be completed in January. And then the other tab is for data that will be completed January to June, done in July. These two tabs are exactly the same apart from the tab name and this header up here that will help you know when to complete this data. You do not need to fill out both narrative tabs each quarter. Follow the instruction and only complete one for each time period. This is, again, a new way to do the status reports. There are 8 questions. There are 2 optional questions at the bottom. We are looking for thoughtful, detailed, meaningful answers to the questions. Short, generic, or superficial responses will not meet reporting requirements. Narrative text boxes can accommodate several paragraphs. So please provide clear, detailed explanations that meaningfully describe your work. Aim to include enough information to demonstrate outcomes, impact, and context without adding unnecessary filler or repeating information that's already been captured elsewhere. We recommend pulling the questions out right away and start jotting down things that you've been doing that you could write about to help answer these questions. The answers help UOVC understand the impact of VOCA funding on your agency, as well as the communities you serve. Your grant analyst may send the report back to you and ask for more information or clarification if answers are incomplete and lack detail. There are prompts in the questions to help guide you towards the information UOVC is looking at receiving. And there is further guidance in the instructions tab regarding the questions and some examples. Okay, so the instruction tab, there are links. So when you click on the link, you can see it will give me a little hand, and I can click on that to open it, and it will open into a new window. These guides, the VOCA companion guide, should be familiar to you as we have looked at it in the grant management training. But the program plan instructions, and that actually should be called progress report instructions, this is a living, breathing document that we at UOVC will adjust and put in more information as people have questions or need more information. So as you go along managing your grants, feel free to use your program plan as a resource, as a quick, easy place to access your VOCA companion guide, as well as the progress report instructions. So check these as often as you have questions. We will use this Excel document all year long. We'll use the same document all year long. The very best place for it to live is in the file section of your grant, where both you and your grant analyst can access the document when needed. When you are submitting the report, upload it to the files section of your VOCA grant. So that is the information I have for you today. Please let us know if you have any questions or concerns regarding this new process.